Hello and welcome guys to mod spotlight. The mod spotlight that we're going to do is called MineChem, and here's my setup here. It's really quite simple. It's that the machine that you start off with would be the microscope, so you would need to make a journal. Then you've got the decomposer, then you have the synthesis machine, and that allows you to make things out of things that you've decomposed, and then you've got the projector. So what do we really need to start with this? So you need to make a journal first. It's really quite simple. It's a book and a test tube, and that'll give you a chemist's journal. Okay, so that's not too difficult. And then a couple of preparation you need to do in order to make test tubes. It's just 3 glass in a row. In order to make the concave, I think that's concave, isn't it? Let me see. Yep, concave lens. You just glass in an H. You'll need 2 of them. In fact, you'll need more of that actually. There's 2. The projector and the microscope has lenses need to be made, and the convex. Yep, the convex is just basically like a cross. It's probably the best way to describe it. So you make them, and once you've made your journal, hello doggy, you need a microscope. So in order to make a microscope, it's really cheap, a lot of this recipe, to be honest. Use a lot of iron and glass, but that's about it. You've got about 5 iron that way, a pane of glass, and a microscope lens. To make a microscope lens, all you need is a concave, convex, and concave, and you put it in the stop box here, the way I've put it on down here. Okay, so that's not too difficult. And once you've done that, you get a microscope, and on the microscope, it's really quite interesting. So you would grab an item and you would put it in there, and what this would do, this is saying what it needs to make it. To break it, you'll get silicon and oxygen, so you have a 20% chance of that. Once you've put an item in, let's say stone for instance, it gets recorded in your journal, so that's fine. In order to make this, what do we need? Is that 1 silicon? 2 oxygen, yeah. So that gives you the general hint. Oh, I know why that one doesn't work. Dirt blocks, that's a grass block. Silly me. That gives you 2 oxygen and 1 silicon. So in theory, you could actually make stone out of the dirt block. Okay, it's not too hard. So once you've got a lot of items, you put them through the microscope just to make sure. Yeah, and it tells you there's the chemical that makes it poisonous, and then you just got water. Take that off. And once you've done that with enough items, you get where is it now? A decomposer. Decomposer is a machine that you need to power, so a good one would be to power it with a hobbyist steam engine, would probably be the best. This is what I use. So all you've got is iron. Once again, you need 7 of them. An atomic manipulator, which is quite easy to make. It's basically pistons surrounded by a block of iron, and you just need some redstone, and then you'll get a chemical decomposer. And this is a chemical decomposer here, and what it does is you put empty test tubes in this chamber here. You put the item that you're wanting to break down, so let's say cobblestone. Let's see if we can get some cobble. Yep. So I do this, put it in here. Oh, and I forgot to turn it on. Just a second. Turn them both on. They're just hobbyist steam engines, so they're nothing too special, and they don't cost too much. So once that gets enough power, it'll say powered. At the moment it doesn't have enough power. It'll give me, once this heats up, is it heating up? Need to get up here. Yep, it's moving. Once it gets enough energy, it should start. Yep, see that? It turned green for a second. Yep, it used one, but I can't remember the percentage. There's only a percentage of getting any of the items in the test tube. I haven't made a good start so far. Normally this would be stored, but I had it switched off, so let's see if we can stop that. Let it get some energy, and we'll look at that one in a second. So once we've got enough energy, the decomposer would essentially just make the items, fill them in the test tube. This is stuff I've used earlier on. So if I was to do that, do you see that? Magnesium. I got magnesium out of one of them blocks there, and it's given me oxygen. And it would continue to break down whatever these can be broken down with. And generally though, you've got to kind of have stored energy. You can't really do it the way I've just done it, or it would take for a while, so I would just leave that off. And that's the chemical decomposer. It initially just breaks down the blocks that you put in. Not all blocks work, but most of them do, or a great deal of them do anyway. And then the next machine you want, it's also a powered machine, is you want to make things back up again. So you need a senseless machine, which is just iron, the atomic, which I've showed you before, a diamond, and a redstone, and you'll have this machine here, and I've got it here already powered. So you would take your journal, like that's my journal there, and you would put the journal in here, and for a pane of glass, what it says I need silicon oxide, and it would produce a pane of glass. So I would fill up with the test tubes of the silicon oxide, and you'd be able to make machine. Most things come at a cost. For instance, if I take the journal, put it in my hotbar, highlight it, right click. These are all items that I've put through the microscope. So if I was to want to make diamond, it says to decompose it, I have a 100% chance of carbon nanotubes, and to make it, it takes about, what is that, 60,000 megajoules. So that's, I think that's megajoules, MJ let's just say, and that's what it takes to make a diamond. To make something a little bit more simpler, like dirt, for instance, just I get a 7% chance of getting silicon, getting iron. These will go through all the things that you can get. Magnesium, 7% chance, along with oxygen. You seem to get oxygen all the time at 7% chance. Titanium, so all these dirt blocks that you've got, it's really quite cool to have them. And where are we now? So we've done that. The other machine, which is the last block in MineChem, is you get a project lens, which I've showed you before, a redstone lamp, you can look that one up, a pane of glass, and 2 irons. And I believe, if I'm right, I might be wrong though, wouldn't be the first time, if you got some blueprints. You get blueprints, nah. You get blueprints of a librarian. Where are we? I think that's fusion chamber. I think this is the one that works. Could be wrong. Let's go over at this machine. Now this is the first time I've tried it. So help bar. Blueprint projector is used for building complex structures, such as a fusion chamber. You can buy blueprints from the librarian villager. Pretty much what I've said. So if I go outside, I'm not quite sure which way this is going. Like I say, I've not used the blueprint machine yet. It doesn't seem to be working. It's probably something I've done silly. So let's get rid of that one. Let's see if there's another blueprint. Let's try this one. Doesn't seem to be working. Maybe the other one's working. I'll maybe look at that one a little bit later. That one seems to be projecting something, but I can't actually see it. That's a shame. Maybe it's got to be up against something, so we try. I'm sure I was... cheat mode, yes. Turn creative on, that would help. Oh, I see it now. You will probably see it now. Not quite sure. You can just make the outline out and no more, actually. Oh, it's telling me that that's in the way. This is quite exciting for me because I have no idea why it isn't actually projecting properly. I can see the outline of blocks here projected. I'm not quite sure you'll pick it up in the video, but it essentially projects the blocks that you need to actually place in order to make the giant machine. Oh, see what I mean? It's probably just textures that I'm missing. My bad. We'll have a look at that some other time, I reckon. But hopefully that was interesting to you, and hopefully that it spurred your interest in MineChem. It's one that excites me quite a bit because I love my alchemy, so this is right up my street. And the cost of making the machines is relatively very cheap, to be honest with you, and you can spend a lot of time on them. I mean, breaking down everything. I store a lot of my stuff up in here. I've got quite a collection at this moment. I haven't started making a lot, and I've only really started with this mod, but I'm enjoying it so far, and hopefully you would too. So that's it, and hopefully you enjoyed the spotlight of the mod of MineChem, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.